Okay, so it is February 23rd of 2023 here. I'm on BitChute, you know, and what this woman here is talking about is that MAID, that's assisted suicide, right? Which is like off the charts in terms of the number of people actually participating in this so-called quote-unquote willingly, to which I question, because people can be coerced, people can be manipulated, people can be misled to do things that aren't good for them. They could be lured into situations, they could be cornered into situations, they can be threatened into situations, they can be made to feel helpless into situations. Anyway, let's just listen, and I'm going to make a comment on what this individual has to say.
Less than 2 months is nothing short of a massive genocide.
Some of them will make you suicidal.
We'll just,
so for somebody who's on those sort of medications,
this is a vet
for me to say to you, hey,
talking about vets being targeted, right, through this MAID program, instead of getting the help that they need,
in this case,
regardless of what that help is,
huge
they're getting
psychological impact for this veteran.
Coerced,
it was very harmful to him,
harassed,
yeah, I bet,
and encouraged
in Canada
to sign up for that. Okay, listen.
Nothing short of a massive genocide. On March 17th, 2023, eligibility requirements for medical assistance in dying has been changed. And I'm going to read you what is going to happen.
March of 2023. Well, we're not in March yet, but this, whatever's going on, has been going on, okay? I think it's something like 10,000 people have already signed up to this program and have been basically snuffed out, all right? This is what taxpayers pay for, okay? Right?
2 months.
You have to ask yourself, what kind of taxpayer would pay for such a thing, unless, of course, they can benefit from it? Obviously, whoever supports this type of program is benefiting from it, okay? They don't believe in God. They're certainly not humanitarians. They're not charitable, but they're benefiting from it, okay?
On March 17th,
They don't have empathy. They don't have sympathy, all right? They don't have compassion, right? And obviously, they don't have no morality.
21 changes to
in terms of the taxpayers that agree to this type of a program, because, you know, for some reason, they're better than the ones that are being signed up to this program.
Canada's MAID medical.
Only some people can eat, while other people cannot. Right? Except for maybe bugs.
Assistance in dying legislation became law. Changes to eligibility criteria, the revised...
Okay, now, this is... She's reading this from the Canadian government website, okay? That's what she's doing, okay? This is not her personal opinion here, all right?
Law modifies MAID, medical assistance in dying eligibility criteria. As of March 2021, persons who wish to receive MAID must satisfy the following eligibility criteria.
It's already happening, people.
Be 18 years of age or older and have decision-making capacity. Be eligible for publicly funded healthcare services. Make a voluntary request that is not the result of external pressure. Give informed consent to receive MAID, meaning that the person has consented to receiving MAID after they have received all the information necessary to make this decision. Have a serious and incurable illness, disease, or disability, excluding a mental illness until March 17th. So as of March 17th.
So by March 17th of 2023, which is less than a month from now, if an 18-year-old, quote-unquote, has a mental illness, well, I guess they qualify for this program now. Okay? She brings up the fact that she has a daughter that's 18 years old. And it makes me think of when Shmei was 17 years old. And became suicidal. But you see, she didn't become suicidal all by herself, people. The whole house, including Uncle John, me, Shimei, Tisha, Marcane, right? We all became suicidal when they illegally apprehended Andre after they illegally kicked out Sierra in the middle of winter, right, for not coming home, so that they had an excuse to come back in not even a month later and apprehend Andre in some fake, funky fucking daycare, okay? Because they wanted to fill their quota for their budget people. And they sacrificed Sierra and her family to do it. So Shimei wasn't the only one who was feeling suicidal. We all were, okay? But she was 17. And when that shit happened, you know, she kind of had a little bit of a nervous breakdown, so we went to the hospital. And of course it was a Punjabi doctor, a woman, who offered her antidepressants. That was her solution. You know, she didn't care about the illegal apprehension. Of course not. Because it only fucking benefited her as a collective in terms of that organized religion. Right? Implode the family from the inside. I'll pick them off, one here, one there, until there's nothing freaking left. Hold on a minute. Okay, anyway, I got distracted. And then I went to sleep. So we're going to finish this video. So we know that governments are targeting veterans, right? Because they don't want to pay for medical, right? They don't want to pay for disability, none of that crap. They just want the problem gone. So they're encouraging sick people, including veterans, to sign up for this assisted suicide, okay? So this individual, though, here, she's just talking about what's on the website with the Canadian government, and so let's just carry on here.
They are going to include mental illness in here. Be in an advanced state of irreversible decline in capability, have enduring and intolerable physical or psychological suffering that cannot be alleviated under conditions the person considers acceptable. Canadians whose only medical condition is a mental illness. Canadians whose only medical condition is a mental illness and who otherwise meet all eligibility criteria will not be eligible until March 17th, 2023. This includes conditions that are primarily...
But after March, they will be eligible.
...primarily within the domain of psychiatry, such as depression and personality disorders. Other outstanding important questions related to MAID, such as eligibility of mature minors. My daughter is going to be 18 this year. It's just sick.
It is sick, people. Very easy to manipulate 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds. All they have to do is bring that mayhem into the environment through their gang stalking techniques and the imploding of the family from the inside out with their partner groups, right? Whether it's organized religion or a ministry within a government, as you know, government body, you know, justice system, social service system, healthcare system, public school system, whatever system, right? To child apprehension, you know, just take the baby and watch everybody go crazy. Take Uncle John, watch everybody go crazy. Injure Amari, watch everybody go crazy. Murder the mother, watch everybody go crazy. Lure another one to their death, watch everyone go crazy, right? That's what I mean by manipulating households, okay? It's a, what is that? There's an action, there's a reaction to every action. Well, they come in with their actions knowing the reaction based on how people, you know, process their feelings, right? If you take somebody away and they disappear and you play mindfuckery with them, right? Of course they're going to get depressed. Of course they're going to feel suicidal. Of course they're going to feel hopeless. Of course they're going to feel angry. Of course they're going to feel rage, right? Just the whole 9 yards. And then those individuals that create that particular circumstance, they take it and they use it to their advantage, right? We're dealing with individuals, people that are deviant, and it's in their DNA to be deviant. Okay, how they got that way, I don't know, but they certainly have no moral compass.
Advance requests, mental illness, palliative care, and protection of Canadians living with disabilities will be considered during a parliamentary review of the MAID. Safeguards for persons whose natural death is reasonably foreseeable.
No, what they've done is they've just made it easy for all these immigrants coming into the Canada that have access to people's medical files and whatnot through the various ministries, healthcare system, school system, justice system, wherever, right, to tweak those files, right, to rewrite the narrative with misinformation, false information, for an end result, okay? Because these individuals want what you have, or what you could have, and before you could have it, they'll make sure you can't get it, people, okay?
Requests for MAID must be made in writing. A written request must be signed by one independent witness and must be made after the person is informed that they have a grievous and irremediable medical condition. A paid professional, personal, or healthcare worker can be an independent witness. A paid person.
Yeah, who cares if you can't speak English very well? It doesn't matter. You're an employed position by the government who says that you can basically do what you want and not be held to account. We know that. I already showed you that through these lawsuits that I filed against Fraser Health Authority and against the province of British Columbia, Canada, aka the Attorney General's Office and the Public Solicitor Safety Attorney General's Office. Okay? Alright? So therefore, these workers, they know this. They already know this. It doesn't matter what's written in the legislation. They're going to do what they're going to do. Because that's what they're employed to do, is to hurt people. Okay? And the government's just made it easier to accomplish that goal.
Can be your witness, can sign off on this, so you can just pay somebody to give you the green light. This is terrifying.
But you also have to remember they're harvesting these bodies, people. And I think they're harvesting the souls too. Because with Sierra, you know, she told me, I'm not coming back, Mom. You're not going to see me no more. I said, Sierra, don't say that. I'm thinking they're, you know, going to kidnap her and take her out to Alberta and pimp her out in the streets. And I'll never see her because we know how these dirty cops operate, right? No, they were prepping her to lay down and let them suck the life out of her with their fucking tentacles that they hide behind their fake charade, right? In terms of they're not what we think they are, okay? Okay? That's why they wouldn't let me identify her body, people, because behind the closed door, they were torturing her as she was listening to her brother, her sister, and her mother on the other side of the door, okay? Crying out for help. But we couldn't help her because those dirty cops prevented that from happening because they were torturing her. They were harvesting her adrenochrome and anything else that they suck out when they're sucking and feeding, okay? I don't care what you think, all right? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that we're dealing with something here that is extremely volatile, all right? Like, who does that? And then let John Hart, the one that was under suspicion of murdering Sierra Chorney, identify Sierra's Chorney as he was feeding off of her too, okay? But denied the family the right to do it. Yeah, okay. as they prepped her and told her that she was going away and she was never coming back, as if they got the green light to fucking kill her, people. Okay? As if she gave them the permission. No, they tricked her, people, to submit to their morbid act of vileness. Okay, this is no different. This is just on a larger scale. All it's done is given the green light to these predators to be more vicious.
Their requirement for a minimum 10-day reflection period has now been removed.
Oh yeah.
This means
okay.
that individuals
so just lock them up in isolation for 2 months, right? You know, keep them messed up, right? And then release them and corral them and lure them to their death. Okay? Yeah. Who needs 10 days when it's already pre-planned? Their death. Okay.
natural
And you know the shit was recorded and sold on the black market. Okay? That's why that body dude guy was walking down the stairs looking at that cell phone with a big grin on his face when he got to the bottom of the stairs, looking up on the street, doing his little hand signals to those dirty fucking cops. Okay? Yeah, we got the snuff movie. Yeah, I know you did. So they're not just killing people, they're capitalizing off of people in body parts and in their morbid crap that they do when they kill them, because you're not there to witness it. You don't know how these individuals are actually being tortured.
Death is reasonably foreseeable, no longer have to wait 10 days between the approval of their MAID medical assistance and dying. The final consent, the revised law.
Something like 10,000 people have already killed themselves under this program in Canada, people, from my understanding. Okay? It's shown here in this video further up.
Now allows the waiver of the requirement to provide final consent immediately before receiving MAID for patients whose death is reasonably foreseeable. Where the person has been assessed and approved to receive MAID, the person is at risk of losing decision-making capacity before their preferred date, so they might change their mind. The person makes an arrangement in writing with their practitioner to waive final consent, and according to which the practitioner will administer MAID.
Yeah, Dr. Fasinski. No, you can't have Shimei's medical files. No. You can't have Sierra's medical files. I'm not going to fill out your disability form. I'm not going to do this for you. Because you can just take me to court. But if you come to me and ask me to let you kill yourself, for sure, I'll sign you up real fucking quick. Because somewhere along the line, that dirty doctor is getting something out of it, people. Okay? He's not going to do the right thing, but he'll do the evil thing. Yeah, okay.
On their preferred date if they have lost the capacity to provide final consent at that time.
And they stun you. Sierra was stunned. She couldn't move. She was paralyzed. She couldn't call out, but I'm sure she was fully aware of what these things were doing to her as they were sucking the life out of her. Okay? Including John Hart, the one that was under suspicion of murder. Okay?
Who can provide medical assistance?
Was that compassion? Being sympathetic to Sierra just by paralyzing her so she couldn't fucking move? Because you have to remember, they come in with their ambulance personnel who have all the medical equipment and drugs and everything that they could possibly want or need at the taxpayers' expense to do the things that they do, like put bodies into hammocks after they've been hooked up to perfusion machines and run them out of the house to put them into the hospital so that they can be gutted like fish and have their organs ripped out like Shimei. Okay? Taxpayers paid for that.
And this is straight.
And the ones that did that got rewarded with their buyouts, payouts, bribes, backroom deals, who knows? positions of authority. Who fucking knows?
Read off the Government of Canada's website. You can go find this.
Or maybe they're just simply androids of some sort with a little bit of human skin on them, because that's all they have is human skin, and they don't care about money. They just do as they're told, okay? Kind of like that coroner with that complete white face with that motherboard in her hair as they're slamming the door in my face as they're telling me that I can't identify my own daughter. Got a video on that, people. Already did the exposure on that, people. Whatever was looking back at us wasn't fucking human, okay? Nobody runs around with freaking motherboards in their hair unless there's something going on behind the scenes. Right? You have to go into my videos to find that video. But don't worry, I'm going to be bringing it back up. I'm going to make new ones. Recreate the fucking wheel to show you exactly what the coroner is all about. And what the police are all about. What your government is all about. Okay? This is just lip service. This just makes it easier for them to go after the little Sierras, the Chamays, the Amaris, the Uncle Johns, and anybody else, Andres, Judy, or whoever they fucking want, as they bring in their fucking crooked fucking immigrants to fill the fucking slot. Yeah, we know how it works.
Information for yourself. Physician.
Bring in the immigrants to do their dirty work to speed up the process. Yeah.
Nurse practitioners. Those who can help provide MAID also include pharmacists and pharmacy technicians and assistants, family members, or other people that you ask to help. Healthcare providers who help physicians or nurse practitioners.
Oh, it's just a green light for everybody to be a murderer, to kill. You want to be a killer? Great, just sign up with the government and you'll get a pat on the back for that one. Yeah. This is sick. So sick, people.
These people can assist in the process without...
As if people don't get depressed. As if people don't sometimes want to die when things get tough. Right? It's all based on character building. Right? Who in their life has never felt at one moment in time where they just didn't want to deal with what was facing them? Everybody. The human kind, that is. Right? Okay? But, you know, 98% of the time, people bounce back and they grow from it and they become stronger from it and they gain coping skills from it and they move on, okay? And they mature, right? But not under this situation. The government is just simply creating the crises and then capitalizing off of it in more than one way.
Being charged under criminal law. However, physicians, nurse practitioners, and other people who are directly involved must follow the rules set out in the Criminal Code.
The Criminal Code of Canada is obsolete. Our governments mock and balk and laugh at it, people. That's what my lawsuits have taught us. The government does not respect the Criminal Code of Canada. The only time they will use the Criminal Code of Canada is when it benefits their need to go after other people who stand up against them, or petty criminals. They don't go after the gangsters, they don't go after the mob, they don't go after the organized religion, they don't go after the organized crime, they don't go after the fucking cartel, they don't go after the fucking corrupt politicians that have infested our governments right across freaking country from country to country. No, that's not what it's there for, okay? So don't be fooled by, oh, the Criminal Code of Canada. They don't care about the Criminal Code of Canada unless it can benefit them. That's the only reason they would tout that freaking book, okay? Outside of that, it's a farce. It's a farce right along with their stupid legislation. Everything about them is a farce.
This is less than 2 months away. Minors, the 18-year-olds, can make this decision provided they are given informed consent and they have the mental capacity to do so, which means moms, dads, you won't have a say if your child wants to take their life, And they won't even have to have a 10-day reflection period. They can make that decision immediately before being given this.
That's right. They're going to let the mom and the dad and the siblings stand outside in the rain on the porch with 6'7" face baby cops guarding the door as their child, their sister, their brother, or whoever is behind that door being murdered by things, people, that profess to be helping the public. They don't help the public. They exploit the public. They use the public for their end goals. And they eat what they sow.
Kill shot. There are so many people who have suffered over the last few years. There are people who have lost their job. There are people who are injured. And I've interviewed several people who have actually been offered MAID because, they have such pain and are living with this pain. And there are actually doctors out there who are saying, well, this is a way out. This is something that we all need to be.
Well, of course, doctors are getting paid for that. Just like Dr. Since he got paid to tell me to take him to court. In other words, fuck off, bitch. You're blackballed within the healthcare system, bitch. It doesn't matter if you have a coma and you need a referral. It's okay. It's just a matter of time before you go blind. It's easier for us to take you out, bitch. Yeah. Because he got paid for that, people. That's what he gets paid for. That's why he doesn't want me to have my daughter's medical files. Because there's a whole lot of fucking funky shit in those medical files. And he doesn't want me to see it in black and white.
Made aware of. This video needs to be shared everywhere. Parents need.
And being that they injured my grandson, right, and basically took out a soldier where, I go around and around and around and around and around, and I really have no time other than to go around and around and around doing the same old daily rigmarole grind. They're laughing. They're laughing. Time is their weapon. I've said this throughout my videos for years, right?
Need to be made aware of this. People need to be made aware of this. And for anyone who is struggling, and I know there's so many people out there who are struggling right now.
Everything the government wants, though, people. They want people to struggle. That's the name of the game, right? Because then they can prosper. That's the only way they can prosper. That's the only way organized religion, organized crime can prosper, right? That's the only way.
Now, there is hope and there is a way out, and I promise you that everything is temporary and we grow from our struggles.
Yeah, that's right. We grow from our struggles. But they don't want you to grow. That's why it's called manufactured poverty. And now we can add in manufactured death.
Become better, we become more compassionate, we become better human beings. And I promise you, there's so many good people out there in the world that are willing to help and offer you help. So reach out to somebody before you ever even contemplate doing something like this.
But you can't. Because these things that are the handlers in the community that orchestrate this crap, they make it so that whoever's being targeted, like for Sierra, couldn't reach out. As if I could have her in the house under the circumstances of what they created out in the streets, people. Okay, if I had her in the house for any length of time, comes in the big guns, the social worker with the police taking out the little children because the Sierra was all drugged out and sick. Sick because of them, people. They're the ones who created Sierra. They're the ones that kept her out in the street. They're the ones who pimped her. They're the ones who used and abused her. They're the one who set her up to be murdered, and they're the ones who capitalized off it. Okay? That's just the way it is. So even if I, wanted to help her, I tried to help her, I tried to do all kinds of different things, but at the end, it was all sabotaged. Surely, little by surely, it was all sabotaged. Because they wanted her out in the streets. They wanted to pimp her. They wanted to use her. They wanted to break her down till there was nothing left. They put her on some, you know how many blood transfusions she had, people? She had quite a few blood transfusions. Why? Because they were fucking with her blood with those drugs, okay? All right? They were doing their experiments on her right along with the rest of those homeless people. That's why so many of them are dying and still dying, okay? It's not just fentanyl. Don't be fooled, okay?
These monsters.
Yeah, they're monsters. That baby-faced cop guarding that door is a monster. That coroner with her ghost white face with her motherboard in her hair is a monster. John Hart, who lured my daughter Sierra Chorney to her death, is a monster. All those paramedics that ran in there, in and out, set up the stage so that they could paralyze her, so that whatever was left behind could suck the life out of her, are all monsters. For everyone that looked at that fucking snuff video that they made while they did all that, people, are monsters. Okay? We've got monsters, literally monsters, that are in positions of authority, preying on innocent lives as our government props it up, covers it up, and pays for it to happen, and brings in legislation and the Criminal Code of Canada as if somehow they're professional and they know what they're doing. Yeah, they do. They know exactly what they're doing, people. Okay? They're monsters.
Want you. This is the easy way out. They want you to choose this. And
well, yeah, because if they can say, oh, yeah, okay, I'm not coming back, no problem. I understand. Yeah, I'm not coming back, Mom. No, you'll never see me again. Because somebody was in my head telling me that I was going to die and that it was okay because that's what was supposed to happen. Yeah, no, that's not what was supposed to happen, people. That's not what was supposed to happen.
This is a genocide.
But these monsters made it happen. And it is genocide.
They're going to kill so many people. So many people. And
something like 10,000 already, and this legislation doesn't even sound like it's in an official effect. Yeah, okay. Why am I not surprised? Huh? Right?
You know, it just... This is criminal. Absolutely criminal.
Yeah, as they sit up there and pretend that they care about Amari. Yeah. If you care about Amari, why not hold the doctor and the staff of Surrey Memorial Hospital to account for the injuries that were placed upon him through their medical negligence? That would show a sign of actually caring about your job in terms of, well, we care about Amari, you know, but just only because he's little. But once he gets big and bulky and hard to move and, you know, and maybe he's not responding the way we want him to, well, we can just get two people, it doesn't matter who, as long as there's some kind of, well, Dr. Vasinski, you know, get the family doctor, Dr. Vasinski, to sign up and just snuff him out. But before we do that, we want to make sure the fucking cameras are in play.